Hey everybody, this is The Buzz. We're talking the football regional playoffs and we're predicting what we feel may happen. But again, don't go to the bookies with what we say because it's high school football and certainly anything could change.
I think 1 week this year I was 4-6, so don't go by my pick.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fun to chat. It's fun to talk about. This is the best time of year.
This time of year.
Absolutely. And the regionals I always feel is my favorite weekend just because the semifinals are all on one day and everything's happening so fast we don't really get to absorb really what went down.
Right.
Regionals is spread out still through a Friday and Saturday. Of course, we want to see that change for the semifinals so that we can have some Friday games.
That would be good.
That would be
put the even numbers on Fridays and
yes,
the odds
exactly,
on
because they're going to do that the following week anyway. All right.
Makes too much sense.
It does. Division 3, Lowell at Zeeland West to start off. It's a classic matchup right here.
You know, if Lowell was a little bit more experienced and they have a real young team, I'd say they'd have a better chance of winning. I just kind of think Zeeland West is a little bit too strong up front, and they'll get their offense going. And I guess Noel Dean does a marvelous job obviously at Lowell, and he'll have his team prepared. I just don't think they have the horses.
Yeah, you mentioned that Zeeland West's a big strength of theirs is the offensive line. And Lowell, when I saw them against East Grand Rapids, went and saw that game, went back and forth, went down on the wire. Conditions were not favorable. There was rain. It was a little sloppy, but the field obviously was in great shape, being a turf field and nice out there at EGR. They found a way to win at the end. They like to run. Max Dean's gonna try and power home if they can make some big plays on defense. Again, what you say is that if West's offensive line is able to hold it down and let Zeeland West open up holes for them to run the ball, they'll eat up clock and they should win the game.
Right, and Lowell likes to run the ball. Both teams likes to run the ball.
Yes.
But I just think Zeeland West is going to have more success running the ball.
Right, exactly, and that will be the difference.
And even
there,
their defense comes through. A lot of times in these games this late in the year and you're running the ball, a lot of times it's field position. Let's say you put them down to their 20 and they don't get a first down. Well, you're going to get the ball near midfield or your own 45 and have like half the field to work with. A lot of that's the running game is predicated, and CC did that for years. That's how they won many titles. Is that was their their thought pattern.
You want to read all of Tom Markowski's playoff predictions, you can go to the in-play page at statechampsnetwork.com. Just click on news and blogs and click on in-play. His headline is talking about River Rouge. I like what you write here, though, about everyone in Petoskey is thrilled that Muskegon has moved down to Division 3.
Well, they're normally 2, so Petoskey would normally not face a team like Muskegon. Petoskey's had a great year.
Yeah.
They're in their regional finals. But to go play at Muskegon, I think is just too tough. Let's say it was at a neutral site. Who knows? But I just can't see it. Petoskey just isn't used to playing a team like Muskegon. Now, I'm probably, dissing on them a little bit that they don't play that great competition, but Muskegon's kind of a different animal for them to face.
So what is different about Muskegon? We all heard, and those of us who follow high school football, and maybe you're out in Southeast Michigan, don't get a chance to see Muskegon. We know that Catholic Central went up there in week 1 and got beat pretty good, but Deshaun Thrower's not there this year, who was that dual threat, and it's just amazing quarterback for Muskegon during his years. What is it? In fact, he was the leading rusher of all time for Muskegon when he graduated.
Well, that just shows what you just said there. That's how Muskegon plays.
That's the way they still play.
Yes, because their offense is dictated by how the defense reads the triple option coming out of their run-oriented veer. Mm-hmm. And it really doesn't matter who carries the ball. It all depends. Is that defensive end coming up and making the pinch on it so the quarterback would keep it around end? See,
it's truly a system.
It is, and it's all based on reading the defense.
Plug in.
And how often has Petoskey played a team that is well-oiled, so to speak, as Muskegon is running that offense?
You've got Muskegon by 18.
18, yeah, I know. I think, and the fact, if you look at some of my picks, I have quite a few of those that are in the double digits and closing in on 20. Yep. I just think this is a mismatch. Petoskey plays, up in the north and against Traverse City schools and, Gaylord. Come on, Muskegon is a different animal. They play a different style. The team speed that they're going to bring that day, I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
We'll see. The next game, you do not have anyone winning by 18 or more. And it's kind of, we can all say probably going to be the end of the run for either one who wins this game. But it's great that they get to a regional. Great that there's a matchup where you have an opportunity to win a regional, because in this one, I really think it can go either way.
Yep.
Redford Thurston at New Boston Huron.
New Boston Huron 10-1, first playoff victory in their school history. Was in the pre-district.
Awesome.
And now they win a district title. And who's to say they can't? In fact, I predict them to win a regional title.
Yeah.
Where did they come from this year? So great job on their program there. And Redford Thurston had a big game last week against Divine Child. It was a tight game at halftime. It was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter. Then they pulled away at the end. Both these teams, Redford Thurston was 1-3, just like Fraser was to start the season, and they had to win out basically to get in. I don't know. These are
They've
two
won
different,
7 straight.
Right, two different leagues, so it's hard to get a gauge on it. They don't really play common opponents. I'm going with New Boston Huron in this one, and a close one playing at home.
Yeah, you picked them by 2, and again, you're right. And it's, I think it'll be a really good game. I think I think this will be one of those ones that you like to watch, and I think for both schools, it's great for them and their fan base.
Right, because neither team has gotten to the semis.
Yeah.
Thurston has really knocked on the door a number of years. I've seen them play in the playoffs, and they've had some nice teams.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure this was supposed to be one of their better ones. It'd be kind of interesting for Coach Snell to actually get into the semis for the first time with this team.
Our final game in Division III is one that you do have the home team favored to win by a lot, and that is Mason traveling to Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yeah, I saw Orchard Lake last week, and I think I've seen enough. Somebody was asking me, why are you going to Woods Tower? I said, well, I'm going to see St. Mary's because I probably won't get to see him again until the Ford Field.
Yeah.
And after watching him play last week, I think that's truer than before I saw him.
They're really good.
They're
really good.
Because they can do so many things, and they like to run the ball. They usually run out of the bone, but they have 2 excellent wide receivers they can use. Connolly Hamler, the sophomore, who put on a move on Saturday that just spun the defensive back around, never touched him. And they don't even use them that much because they're so good at running the ball. And their defense is just outstanding too. So
St. Mary's defense is really what I think, from what I've seen, is what sets them apart. They're nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a defense that I think really gets after it, and I think they've really got a chip on their shoulder this year.
I think, and that's going to work to their favor. I think that they want a lot to prove. You're losing to Brother Rice twice this year.
And how they lost in that Prep Bowl championship, again, it's one of those things. It's like, man, that sticks with you, and man, you want nothing more than to have a chance to go back to Ford Field.
Right.
And boy, if we had Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Muskegon in there,
yes,
that would be something special.
One heck of a game. Even if Zeeland West got there, I think that'd be an excellent game too. But I don't think Mason runs the ball. I got a scouting report from the St. Mary's coaching staff. They said they have a nice running back. They do run the ball, but come on, if that's all you can do, St. Mary's will find a way to stop you.
I agree. That's your wrap up in D3.